Welcome back. In this video, I will show you how to create simulations for vortex-induced vibrations with a turbulence model in OpenFOAM. In the previous videos, I explained how to create the geometry, the block mesh, and the snappy hex mesh to generate the OpenFOAM mesh, and how to set up the boundary conditions, physical properties, numerical schemes, etc. And I also explained the post-processing, especially ParaView, and also how to extract the CFD results. However, I assume that my simulation case is a laminar simulation, and I didn't use the turbulence modeling. In this video, as an additional information to these previous videos, I will explain how to set up a turbulence model. So let's go ahead and look at it. The first thing we need to set up when we want to use the turbulence model is to turn on the turbulence switch, which is located in this constant and turbulence properties. So this file, and in the previous cases it's like laminar. The simulation type was laminar, and all I need to do is just remove that and set the simulation type to RAS, which means Reynolds average run simulation. For the RAS model, I decided to use k omega SST, and because this model is very efficient for flows with very high flow separations and vortex shedding, etc. It's a combination of the good points from k omega model and the stability from k epsilon model. So I set up the simulation type to RAS and the model to be k omega SST. Then I need to check my boundary conditions for the turbulence properties, and we have 3 boundary conditions in the 0 file: k, nu t, and omega. So I already opened it, and k is the turbulence kinetic energy, and we need to set up the boundary conditions. The inlets is fixed value and outlets is 0 gradient, or we may use the inlet outlet boundary velocity condition, but yeah, and 0 gradient is enough. And for the walls, we use the wall functions because we don't want to solve the wall fully. We solve the wall, so we will apply the wall functions, and we set KQR wall function for k for all the walls, and for the sides it's symmetry. For the symmetry boundary condition, we don't need to care anything. Okay, and we need to decide the value of the inlets and initial and boundary conditions. And for the omega, the same here. For inlet, we set up a certain value, and for the outlet it's 0 gradient, and for the walls we will use wall function. So for omega we use omega wall function, and the value is, we can put the same as internal field. In k and omega, we can apply the value for wall functions as something very small, near 0, or we can set up to be the internal field. And this is the case with the wall function. But if we don't want to use the wall functions, we want to directly resolve the viscous layer, we need to type fixed value, and make this value to a very small, like uniform, a very small number. So the OpenFOAM solver will solve the wall by itself. But for our case, we don't want to resolve because the mesh is not refined enough. So we will rather use k omega wall functions. So we cover the k and omega, and we need to decide these two inlet values, and we can use several methods like Excel sheets and online calculators. And the one thing I usually use is this one. It's from wolfdynamics.com. I talk about this website a lot of the times, and in their website you can see this turbulence properties calculator for boundary and initial condition, and we just set the free stream velocity, which is our inlet value, to be 1 meter per second, and we also set the kinematic viscosity. So we want to check to the transport properties, and new, this is the kinematic viscosity, and put it here. And another thing we need to consider are turbulence intensity and eddy viscosity ratio. So the inlet turbulence intensity is like 5%, which is a median turbulent flow, and for the inlet eddy viscosity ratio, 10 is these two guys are like a set for the median turbulence ratio. For highly turbulent flows, we may use 10 for turbulence intensity, and maybe even use UTS 100 or something like this, a much bigger number. But for now, we'll use turbulence intensity to be 5% and eddy viscosity to be 10, or ratio to be 10, and then we may choose from which terms we want to calculate our k and omega values. So we want to compute from TU, which is turbulence intensity and eddy viscosity ratio, and the rest, and then just compute, and we will have these numbers, which are you can use reliably for at least for external fluid dynamics with external fluid dynamics. For the internal flows, you may need to use another formulas. Okay, but I will not cover these. Okay, so we covered how these values are obtained, and the rest we need to cover is nu t. Nu t is the eddy viscosity, and we don't need to care. Basically, we don't need to care much about for the inlets and outlets. We just put calculated, and which means the solver will decide calculate for the values, and all we need to do is set up the values for the walls, and we will set up nu t k wall function. If we want to add the roughness to our cylinder or to our any wall, you can change this to nu t k rough wall function, something like this, and we can set the roughness numbers in the respective roughness numbers here. Okay, okay, I will make another video about this. Okay, so we already set up the 3 necessary boundary conditions, and another thing we want to check is the discretization schemes and FV schemes, and we want to make sure we have the divergence schemes for our k and omega. So now I already prepared it, bounded Gauss upwind, maybe even Gauss upwind is enough. And For the turbulence properties, the first order schemes are just sufficient in my opinion, because they will a lot of dissipation will occur, and these first order schemes dissipate a lot, so we don't need generally first order schemes are accepted by the CFD community for the turbulence variables, but for the other uh, schemes we need second order accuracy. Okay, now that's okay. And for the FV solution, we need to make sure we have our K and K final and omega final matrix solvers. And if you don't know what to do, you can copy from U and U final. Okay, this is an easy way. And we may want to make sure our relaxation factors are okay. So it seems all set. Now all I need to do is to go to the directory and run my solvers, pimpleFoam, and let's see the simulation is running. Okay, so let me have a look. And the peak core UX, okay, velocity, pressure, and now here we can see omega and K are being solved, and they are converging quite well. So we can run the simulation and just wait for the results. Okay, and I will stop it for now, and thank you for your attention, and I will make another useful and informative and enjoyable videos. Thank you very much.